Well, after I'd clambered in, I must say I would have been tipped in at least 2 or 3 times by this stage had it not been for those funny little pontoon things. I was trying to apply my dinghy rowing skills, such that they are, to these huge oars and find it very, very tricky. Again, I would have been tipped in if you were relying on just the oars for stability several times by now, so I was quite amazed. I managed to get it turned around a little bit, not using anything but just oars, and pointed in the general direction. My wife was following in one of these little Hobie kayaks with their Mirage drive. It's got pedals underneath. It goes pretty quick, and she was filming away. I was just checking out the stability here with the oars. I'm feeling quite comfortable and making sure I was pointed in the right direction. All this is new stuff to me, and that stage I gave, you can just about see it there, I used my legs for the first time and on that seat slide, and I just shot away. It was an amazing feeling, just the slide on the seat and then this huge glide. I'd never encountered anything like that. As you can see, I outdistanced her very rapidly. I'm going to just fast forward and catch us up. Okay, we've caught up now. This is, in no way is this a demonstration of how to row or scull a boat. This is basically just, if you were like me thinking of buying a boat to row in, or at least to learn to row in on your own, this is the sort of stuff I was after, to find out, is it actually possible? I'd looked at all sorts of beginner sculls, so to speak. Some had training pontoons, some were extra wide and all the rest of it. Then I came across this Edon thing, and it looked pretty hopeful. There's not a lot of stuff on the internet about it, so I thought, well, even though this is pretty tedious stuff, anybody who's contemplating buying one might be reassured that it is indeed what they say it is. It does what they say on the tin. It's very, very stable. I wouldn't say it's 100% stable. You could certainly tip it over, but with those pontoons on, it's very forgiving. And as you can see, me blundering around on day one, not knowing a thing about what I'm supposed to be doing, it's very forgiving and letting me get away with it. Wifey's now caught me up on a little kayak, and I'm about to shoot off down another side canal. This was early in the morning, about 6 o'clock. No wind, nice and flat water. And it's my intention to just learn to row and then scull about on the canals and at the attached lakes where we live. What's happening now? Just resting on the oars. One thing I did find difficult was it actually goes quite fast, and compared to my old dinghy, you have to really keep track of where you are, because as you can see, there's pilings sticking out from various properties. It's quite easy to just drift off from the centre of what is quite a narrow canal, and you've got to watch where your oars are. I believe you're supposed to start looking over on the forward drive to see what's ahead on both sides, so I haven't quite got the hang of that yet, as you can see. But again, just resting on there. I don't think I had a foot stretcher in the right place either. I'm not doing the stroke at all correctly. This is just blundering around on day one. Thought I'd leave it in, which you might well be able to glean something at least about the stability of the boat, which in my opinion is great. That's very good. I'm using the standard oars that Roger at Virginia Rowing supplied. The Dreher, I think. And they seem nice and light, but just huge to me, who's only ever rowed a dinghy before. There's these enormous great sticks on either side. And I was always catching crabs. That I've got to figure out what I'm doing wrong there. Basically, you think you're doing really well, and then all of a sudden the oar doesn't come out, or at least the paddle end of the oar, the blade doesn't come out of the water, and you're almost tipped over. Again, if you didn't have those little pontoon things, you'd be in the water again. So as a learning to row boat, I think it's fantastic. It also goes pretty quick. Clearly it's not going to compete with a racing scull, but I think as a step towards that, if you don't have access to a coach or someone who can help you and some flat water, it's a great way to start out. So I'm full of enthusiasm. I also discovered I'm wearing completely the wrong clothes. A loose-fitting shirt's not the right thing. It kept getting caught up with the oars, and I started getting some blisters very quickly on my hands. I didn't have any gloves or anything, so I intend to get some gloves. And I also found, you can see here, it's pretty easy to maneuver and stop and back up and turn. It's not that long. I think it's about 17 feet, something like that. So again, with the benefit of those pontoon things, you can lift both oars out of the water and back water on one, and not exactly spin it around, but you can certainly maneuver quite easily. I was getting pretty comfortable here. I thought, I'll give it some stick, and you can see whoa, there we go, caught another crab. It's not as easy as it appears. But any one of the good things, it's going to be a challenge, a bit zen-like if you like. So I'll leave you there. Goodbye.